guys, how have you been? Hello YouTube and my fellow subscribers and YouTubers. Happy Thursday night to you. It has been a while since I did my last YouTube video. It has been nearly a month now. Actually, for my last video that I did on Karen versus Manager reaction video, first and foremost, thank you so much for all my new subscribers. All the views that have come from that last video that I did. Thank you so much, and shout out to all of my new subscribers. I had 14 brand new subscribers just from that brand new video not brand new video, but the last video that I did. Actually I didn't bring up the names to give a shout out. Hold on a second guys, I'll bring up the names. Okay guys, well all of my subscribers, most of them are set on private, so I can't really see your names, but a special shout out to Square Root of Ron and also Fluttershy Neil. Sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly guys. But yeah, and to the rest of my subscribers, because it says here that if you're on private I can't really see you. So thank you so much to all my recent subscribers. I really appreciate it. Your support means a lot to me guys. Yeah, and all the views. Actually on the last video that I did from the Karen versus Manager video, I got just a little over 500 views on just that one video. I know that doesn't seem a lot, but to me that is a huge and an excellent result. So thank you so much guys. I really appreciate it. Your support means a lot to me as well. Until we get this YouTube channel up and running officially. Your support means a lot guys, and I'm so sorry I haven't done any videos lately. It has been really busy in lockdown. Even though there's not much to do or to go anywhere, but I have done a lot of online shopping, and I've gotten my husband to put it all together for me. So yeah guys, on tonight's episode of CuddlyBear Reactions, we're actually going to do another Karen versus Manager video. Well, not on the one that we did last time, but this one is going to be more of Manager's responses to Karen's. And again, link for the original video will be in the description below, so if you want to see the original video, sorry guys, I've actually given my husband the office chair, and I'm sitting on a I bought it as a coffee table, but it can be used as a seat as well, so I'm leaning on that for a bit of extra support. But yeah, on this video I was watching a little bit of it the other day, and I'm like, you know what, this is reaction worthy, so I'm not going to do a try not to laugh challenge on tonight's episode guys, so this is purely a reaction video. Anyway guys, without further ado, let's get the show on the road. And if you've liked this video, if you can leave me a like, comment and subscribe, as always, I would appreciate that very much guys. You guys' support has meant so much to me guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Bless you guys. Anyway, enough babbling on, let's get the show on the road. Okay guys, let's get this show on the road. I was gonna say shower, but show, I meant show.
Managers, what was the worst case if I demand to speak to the manager you've experienced?
Sorry, that's just the neighbor's pets.
At Red Lobster, someone grabbed the manager and told him his shrimp was cold, wanted a free beer, and he could get better fish by fishing. This manager was my dad, and was meeting us after work, and apparently looked like an authority figure since he had a tie on. My dad replied, "That's cocktail shrimp, you moron." I worked at an independent chocolate shop that sold various flavors of truffles, brands and drinks. We had non-dairy options, vegan options, and nut-free options. A woman demanded to speak to the manager because we did not have a dairy-free, nut-free, sugar-free, vegan option. Luckily the owner literally just laughed and said, "We do have one. It's called water."
I was going to say.
Seen such entitled rage. This bacon is so raw, I can still hear it mooing. 1. It was pre-cooked bacon. 2. I know damn well that bacon never mooed. Obligatory not a manager, but maybe not the worst, but this was definitely the dumbest I ever saw. A sign was accidentally left up from earlier in the week advertising men's Levi's as buy one, get one half off. So for 2 pairs, it would be roughly $90. Okay. The current sale was to get 2 pairs for $70. Had a lady pitch an absolute fit that they weren't ringing up buy one, get one half off. She was being ripped off, etc.
Hold on.
Tried the
How the heck are you being ripped off if you're saving 20 bucks on 2 pairs of jeans? Common sense, ain't that common, guys?
Tried to explain to her that we had accidentally missed a sign, but that she was actually getting a
Oh,
better
and
deal
guys,
at
by
the...
the way, if you hear screaming and laughing in the background, it's just my husband, and again, he's doing his own live streaming on YouTube in the living room, so, and we've all got a small house, so if you hear laughing and screaming, that's what it is. No one's being hurt. And he's speaking in Filipino, so go check out his channel, guys. It's YT Habagat Gaming. If you want to laugh, go and check out his channel. His channel is actually pretty fun and entertaining when he's on there laughing and screaming and just having a good time. So go check out his channel, guys, and I'll put up a link in the description as well if you guys want to go check him out as well. No, I mean, not check him out. I mean, you know, he's already taken, but check out his channel, I mean. Just being specific. Anyway, back to the video, guys.
Current price. She wouldn't have any of it, and demanded to speak to the manager. Store leader comes out and tells her the exact same thing, but the lady will not listen and is adamant about getting them at the price on the sign. Store leader finally gives up and tells me to just go ahead and do a price override and charge her the extra money. Lady leaves smugly, like she thinks she's just worked us over big time, and makes some kind of comment about how I need to learn to listen to customers on the way out.
Alrighty then.
Lady spent an extra $20 on jeans because she wanted them for the price on an old sign. Managed a liquor store in a college town. People would always ask to speak to a manager because we wouldn't sell them alcohol without a proper ID. Or they would try to show me a school ID, like that would mean anything to me. Also got some social security cards, birth certificates, or other forms of irrelevant pieces of paper, like a picture/photocopy of their ID. The best is when I would work up at the front registers and people would tell me to go get a manager, and I would do a 360 and say, "Hi, now duck off." My boss didn't care.
Sorry, excuse the language, guys. I'm gonna have to, because I didn't see the rest of this video, so I'm gonna have to...
He was a good friend of mine
excuse
and
the
would
language,
laugh.
guys.
I didn't get shitty unless they deserved it. I was a shift lead at a GameStop, and was the manager on duty with one other associate in the store. We were pretty busy. Both the other employee and I were on registers ringing through our own respective lines. Poor guy I work with gets this soccer mom haircut that I knew was gonna be trouble, and she is trying to return a new game that had the seal broken on it. Against return policy, can't help you. So lady then gets really upset and demands to cancel all of her son's pre-orders. My guy obliges and is preparing to give her her refund in store credit, because her son had only paid for the pre-orders with trades. You can't mix match tenders, so my guy informed her so. That was just it. She was instantly screaming and calling my associate a liar. He literally turns the computer screen towards her and shows her the entries in trade credit, but she isn't having it.
Oh no.
Let me speak to your manager. Dude points to me. I wrap up with my customer, and we trade registers so he can keep helping out. I ask her how I can help, to which she screams her experience at me. I reiterate what my buddy...
Why do people scream at people, especially in retail, man? Look, I get it. Maybe you've had a bad day. And you know, I'm not, you know, putting it out there. You know, I'm not condemning people who have had a bad day. But seriously, guys, you know, the Karens out there or the high maintenance customers and people, they don't have to scream in people's face. Just get it over and done with. When you're screaming, you're making yourself look terrible. Like a little baby just throwing a tantrum out there. That's all that is. Sorry, guys. I just don't get it.
Informed her, and that there isn't any way we can get her cash back. She claims, well, I'm gonna call your corporate office and tell them that your policy doesn't apply to me, and I've never been treated like this before.
Okay.
To which I happily offer her the corporate number, and advise her that telling a corporate customer service line that they believe they are exempt from policy is probably not the best strategy.
Yeah, probably.
Woman gets red in the face and starts looking around the store, and God forbid the poor man, the old manager walks in. He does not work there anymore, but the woman recognizes him from his time at the store. She begins accusing me of lying to her, because she knows that he is the real manager, and that he can help her. Nope, dude just trying to shop. She ended up just leaving in a huff.
Oh no.
When I worked in a gas station, A dude that I knew was 18 came in and wanted some cigarettes. This guy was so I asked for some ID. He whipped out a fishing license written in pencil, so I refused to sell him cigarettes, and he was fairly upset. He yelled for a manager, and my manager came around the corner and told him that I was right. This was an unacceptable ID. The kid told my manager I had sold cigarettes to him before, which was true. My manager just said, "That sucks, now leave." After he left, my manager said that she had sold to him before too, but he was a donk, so who gives a shit. Then the kid called my store, asked for my manager, and told the same manager that 2 employees were disrespecting him. Worked front desk of a hotel. Had a woman throw a goddamn tantrum because the state we were in charged a 6% room tax.
Right.
She demanded that I remove the tax. I told her that we had no control over taxes. She still wouldn't accept the reality of taxes, so I printed off contact
Nobody
information
does it.
for her state representative and told her to direct her complaints to them. She did not like that at all. She started screaming, so I got my manager. My manager said basically what I said, that we cannot legally remove a tax, so the woman grabbed the bowl of mints on the counter and threw it at my head and stormed out. We had her credit card on file and charged her for the full amount. One of the heads of the radiology department was infuriated when there was a network outage in his area. Stormed up into our support area screaming for a manager. Me.
No.
Listened to him rant and rave, and finally decided to take a walk down there to see what I could do.
Right.
Start looking around, and I find a bunch of $10 network hubs splitting one PC connection to 8 PCs.
Right.
I started laughing, and asked who put these hubs in. He said, "I did." "What's so funny?" Explained that he was the source of his own problem. Started disconnecting the hubs, and guess what? The network came back up. I confiscated about 7 hubs, and told him if he needs more connections he has to contact engineering and have them run more lines.
Oh,
He flipped
wow.
out, and I just walked down the hall to his VP's office and explained what happened. When I was leaving the office, the VP called him. He no longer works here. I've had unhappy customers call and ask for the owner of the company by name, because they googled it. I explained that that person is technically an owner, but has nothing to do with the business, and doesn't even live in the same state. Then I go on and solve their problem with what authority I have. Meanwhile, I'm that owner of the company. Never show all your cards when negotiating.
Yes, you know what, that
So
is
when
very
I worked
true.
at Starbucks, we, as you can imagine, had plenty of shitty entitled people come in, expecting the world of employees barely paid above minimum wage, who've been awake since 3 AM or earlier. We had people blaming us for the fact that they were late for work and were going to be fired. People blaming us for being late picking up their kids. Kids blaming us for being late to school. Plenty of. But I ordered a venti. Why did you give me $1,000? Or this coffee is cold because I've left it sitting out for an hour. But I want you to make me a new one for free.
You know what?
You want
Some people can be just so selfish and so self-centered. And don't get me wrong, and again, I'm not judging or condemning. But seriously, people can be so selfish and self-centered. Wow. Hats off to the guys working in retail and hospitality, guys.
Being enthusiastic enough after 8 hours of being here, and so sleep deprived you don't know what your name is. But probably the worst/funniest was Libby. Libby was a regular who we really wished wasn't. She was overly demanding, and had one of those super complicated, half cafe double soy triple whip hold the cream half the sugar and do a backflip when you serve it to me types, and she could tell if you got her order wrong, and would make you remake it until it was right. She also would steal from our tip jar right in front of our faces. She'd pretend to put a 5 in, and then pull out 4 ones, but she'd take out 5 or 6 ones instead. And one time during this little switcheroo of hers, she accidentally dropped a $100 bill out of her wallet. The good thing about Libby was that she only came in once or twice a week, but that meant that we were the ones who had to find this $100 for her. She didn't notice it for a few hours afterwards, and when she did, she called in and asked for the manager, and asked her if she'd seen it, since she would have dropped it out in the lobby, where we very rarely went since we were so busy in back of house. We went out to check, but found nothing, and told her that a customer must have taken it, and that we were sorry but there was nothing we could do. She Flipped. Oh, shit. That's my rent money. I'm going to be kicked out of my house. Do you want me to be homeless? You hate me and want me to be homeless, you shitty duckers. I hate you and you're terrible. Go duck off and die. The supervisor came out and gave me the gist of what she'd said, while begging me to find this money. There were also some racist accusations, since the neighborhood as Starbucks was in was—
Dude! Why?
predominantly immigrants, and Libby was your standard white liberal until put under pressure. Anyway, so a week passes and still the money hasn't shown up. Libby calls us each day, multiple times a day, to find out if we've found her money. Sometimes she yells and screams. Sometimes she doesn't. Either way, the answer's always the same. We hadn't found her money. So she comes in again and pretends like she hasn't been cussing us out for a week straight. Is all happy and bubbly and jokes about losing the money, and how she's just so scatterbrained sometimes, haha. She tries to talk me into giving her free coffee since we lost her money, but I tell her that she has to pay anyway. She grumbles and opens up her wallet, pulls out her card, and out flutters a $100 bill and lands on the counter. We both look at it. She looks into her wallet, and after a moment goes, "Oh, that's right. I hid that $100 in my credit card slot for safekeeping so I wouldn't lose it. You can't stop looking for my money now." That was
What a
No
stupid,
apologies for the
silly
abuse throughout the
customer.
week, the accusations, anything. I know I shouldn't expect one, but now,
Dang, yeah.
I think she realized that she ducked up though, because she didn't show back up for a couple of weeks. TLDR. She thought that we stole her money after she stole our money, later found her money in her wallet, safe and sound. I was running a coffee shop by myself when this dude came in.
No.
Asked for an egg sandwich, no big deal.
Okay.
I start making his, then the next customer asks for a BLT.
Okay.
I start warming the bacon on the skillet next to first customer's egg, and this guy waits until I hand him the already made sandwich to freak out. He needed his food to be halal, but our coffee shop was very much not halal. After demanding free food, refund, etc., he starts getting heated and loud. He tries—
With all due respect for people out there, you know, there's no words. There is no words.
to pull the whole "let me see your manager" thing. Unfortunately for him, it's me. He
Okay.
literally had been yelling at me for 15 minutes when I said, "You know what? Let's call my friend, the owner of this establishment, and see what they have to say about it." I dial her up, explain what's going on. He grabs my phone from me, tells her he's going to call the police and file a sexual discrimination, throws my phone on the ground, then storms out. I had a woman call to tell me that she
Why
spent too
would you
little
call the police for your dietary requirements, people? Seriously?
on an ice cream cone. We had a special that was like 2 scoops in a waffle cone for $5, and for some reason she only got 1 scoop, and said she didn't know about the special, despite there being signs all over the shop about it. She claimed that—
You know what? People can see signs until they're, you know, there's an old saying, you know, people wouldn't know if they missed the train or not. Oh my goodness, man. These high maintenance entitlement customers, man.
that my worker didn't offer it to her. I didn't focus on upselling at our store, so this wasn't a big deal to me. I apologized to her, but I was also like, what exactly do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
This happened yesterday. I'm assuming you ate the ice cream, so
You
you
can't
can't
return it,
return
yeah.
it. She wanted a refund anyway for the inconvenience. I asked if she had a receipt. She said she didn't. I said no go without a receipt. She said she didn't get one at checkout.
Then.
I explained to her that in my state we're not required by law to give a receipt for cash purchased food service items. So if she didn't ask for one, tough is. She kept pressing, saying she demanded to speak to the manager. I explained that I was the manager.
Oh, wow.
She then asked if there was another manager she could speak to. I told her no, I was end of the line, top of the heap. No one else was going to tell her anything different. She huffed and told me she would be by to discuss it in person. She never came in. I worked at a gas
Yeah, they got
station.
scared.
Customer came in, red-faced.
You know
and
what?
stood up.
I'm gonna share my own experience in this one, guys. Hold on. Remember how I told you in the last video I was a manager at KFC? Well, I worked at this one restaurant once in a small suburb, and anyway, so it was serving and I was behind making burgers and my team members were in the front, you know, serving customers. And I get a phone call from this lady and she said, oh, your team members laughed at me. And I'm like, well, when our team members are, you know, they're just having fun while they're working. There's nothing wrong with that. And then she's like, oh, they're laughing at me and I didn't get my incorrect food. And I'm like, okay, well then we can send you out a voucher because, and if you've got a receipt, you can bring it with you. And then she just started babbling on. And then she says, you know what, I'm going to send my husband down to the restaurant, da-di-da-di-da. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know what, that's fine, go ahead. But we have security here as well. That's fine. They'll be happy to meet your husband. She hang up, never heard or seen from them ever again. Some people, man, seriously, they just want their point taken across. Or, you know what? It's a sense of pride. Their pride, like, I was right. Guys, why are they like that? Anyway, guys, leave me a comment in the below of what your experience was on this one, guys. If you've had something similar to this video, please let me know in the comments below.
At the counter.
Actually, this is a long video, guys,
He starts
so
spouting
bear
off
with
a
it.
tirade about how we cheated him on the price of gas. Since he didn't come in and pay cash, I assumed he paid credit. I explained to him that credit is a few cents more than cash. You can't do that. There's nothing saying that anywhere. I gently explained that the LED sign has cash next to the price, as well as a sign on top of the gas pump itself breaking down the cash/credit prices. It's a large display. He adamantly refused to believe the signage was out there. So I left the counter, walked him out to his car, and pointed to the sign above the pump. That wasn't there before. You're
Some
kicking me.
people!
What the duck, dude? How could I have done that? This is fraud. I'm calling the police. Sure. Go ahead, sir. I'll be inside.
Yeah.
Police came, dutifully listened, wrote a report, and then sent him on his way. Obviously nothing came of it, but wow.
Yeah.
He was so angry. TLDR. Pay attention to the signs, people.
Yeah.
This one is kind of a recurring problem. Fortunately, as a manager, I only have two people above me, the general manager and the owner.
Yeah.
We have a woman that works for us, is the sweetest woman in the world, but she is a larger woman, older, 65, and comes from a farming and military background, so she is strong and stocky.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she is often mistaken for a transgender person, even though she is not. Not that we have a problem with that either. Anyway, multiple people have refused to do business with her based on her appearance. We do have booking fees at our establishment, and anyone who sets an appointment with her is subject to the cancellation fee if they cancel without notice. I have had her come out to greet clients, and as soon as they see her, say nope, and turn around. Without getting into detail, our business has nothing to do with appearance. I then charge them a cancellation fee. Often, I get a call a few days later, asking what the charge is. Myself, or my subordinates, say it is for cancelling service without proper notice. At least 4 to 5 times a year I get to hear some asshole try to stammer to me why he should get a refund. I always make them say it, as most of the time they try to dance around the issue. I had a last minute thing come up. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, but your personal life can't affect our business arrangement. She wasn't what I expected. Oh, in what way? You know. No sir, I don't. Well, cue lots of stammering, etc. I will not give refunds for this. My boss won't and my owner won't. If they really want to push chargebacks against us, they can. But we aren't about to let people do this. Had a table of 6 or so, apparently well off, late 20s/early 30 British guys ordering T-bones and ribeyes, and all well done peasants, the good wine, the works. About halfway through eating their shoe leather, The waitress covering the table said she had a bad feeling about them.
You know what? Whoever put down shoe leather on this is obviously a vegetarian or a vegan. And nothing against you vegans, just don't, you know, shove it down our throats to those of us who eat meat, you know, that we're killing animals. And listen, guys, if you want to stay vegan, you stay vegan, okay? And then those of us who eat meat, we will continue eating meat. We don't bother you vegans, but anyway. But again, I respect what anybody eats, because there's people out there that don't eat pork, they don't eat chicken, they don't eat... Well, some just don't eat vegetables, or some eat vegetables. And you know what? That's fine, guys. That is totally fine. Honestly, guys, no condemnation, no judgment on what you eat. If you eat vegetables, that's fine. If you eat steaks, that's fine. No judgment, guys. No judgment. But based on the way this looks, it looks like it was posted by a vegan. They eat shoe leather.
They were getting the food for free and wanted to check what the story was, so I made a point of regularly checking their table to make sure everything was okay.
No.
Come time to pay, and there's a big huddle at the table with lots of not very hushed, "You do it. No, it's your turn," etc. I catch the eye of our bouncer, make a, "We might have some trouble here," call the guards look, and head over. Turns out that despite clearing their plates, they weren't paying because the ribeyes had bits of fat in them, the steaks weren't cooked properly, the sauces were wrong, and despite dining in some of the best steak houses, this was the worst steaks they'd ever had, ever, blah blah blah.
Guys,
One ducker even pipes up.
Can I just make a point? If you guys can't afford to go to a restaurant, don't go. Cook at home. Seriously, guys, these people making it problematic for themselves. Common sense says if you don't have money, don't go out. Stay home and cook a meal. Common sense.
Yeah, and my steak, a T-bone, had a big bit of bone in the middle of it. That's not right, causing a ripple of titters to pass around the table. One of the guys even mentioned that he, personally, knew the owner of the restaurant, Mr. Restaurant Name, which was like saying he knew Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, so
I
what?
laughed in his face at that. Anyway, I wasn't letting those smug duckers win, and flatly refused to let them off.
So they must have changed it. Okay, sorry guys, even though
to call the police.
Even though the swearing is there, but I think that the guy who, the robot thing, they must have changed it so it doesn't come out as a swear word.
That was a great idea. Motioned for the bouncer to call the guards, but he nodded and held up 2 fingers. He's already called them, and they were 2 minutes away. Good man. So I stalled them a bit longer. Now, just to explain a wee bit, at this time,
a wee bit? It sounds like the person is also British who wrote this one, because, you know, Irish or British. If I'm incorrect or correct, let me know in the comments below, guys.
Was just kicking off as a big tourist attraction, and the Gardaí were patrolling heavily at the weekends, keeping a high profile. Being a good neighbor, I'd always chat to them, give them a cuppa if it was cold. Plus our bouncer knew a good few of them personally. Now it was time to get payback for those 37 cups of tea. Sure enough, a couple of guards turn up. I explain to them the situation, point out the waitress nearly crying from the shit they'd given her, and they sidle up to the table. They explained that, here in Ireland,
told you, Ireland,
they had to pay for it. That, or they were going to spend the rest of their trip in a prison cell. They argued a bit, and I could see the guards were looking forward to putting these smug pricks in their place, but in the end, they coughed up, and at the guards' gentle suggestion included a hefty tip.
Yeah.
It's the small victories.
Yeah.
I worked in a nice little geek shop that sold...
You know what? Actually, a similar story as well. And again, this is a KFC story. Sorry, guys. But another restaurant that I worked in a plaza, actually, at a KFC restaurant. There was this lady that would come every day saying that she didn't have her chips, when in fact we did give her chips. I went, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you chips because you already got it and you already paid for it. You already got it. And I said, well, do you have a receipt? She said, yes. I said, okay, let me have a look on the cameras. Looked on the cameras and told her, look, you know what, we gave you your chips because, you know, we can see on the cameras that, you know, you got them. And then she shook my hand and said, thank you, you're a good manager. And then she walked off. Don't understand it, guys.
Used books, games.
Don't get me wrong. And if there are people struggling out there, yes, there is help out there. through charities and things like that. There is help out there, guys. You know, and again, I understand because people don't know what else to do. And again, no judgment or condemnation whatsoever, guys. But, there is help out there, guys. If anybody is struggling, there is help out there. You know, you just gotta know where to look. Look up on Google charitable donation places or food banks in your local area. Or if you know that people who are struggling, to help out. But anyway, guys, back to the main video. I just wanted to share my little story. But anyway, in addition to this
Memorabilia,
one,
guitars, etc. And this kid was buying Attack on Titan stuff, and they were talking about the next one. I never watched the show, and they said rhetorically, I wonder what the wall is made of. So I said, the wall? It's made of people. The wall is made of people. And they laughed since they either got the Soylent Green reference, or at least thought it was a funny thing to say. Well, their mom/grandma didn't like that one bit, and after they paid and left, she came back in furious and demanded to see the guy who gave away the ending of the book. The kids were saying that I was just joking and I didn't even see the show/read the manga.
Yeah.
I came over to see what the problem was, and she said, if I find out you spoiled the ending of that book, I will have you fired. And some nonsense. I apologized, and explained I was making a joke. Didn't know the first thing about the show.
You watch.
Was never brought up again. But those kids were super embarrassed.
At least the kids were nice. Well, guys. Let me know your experiences in the comments below of what you've experienced. And again, if you've worked in retail, hospitality, or served a high maintenance customer or client that's given you a hard time. And again, guys, there's good and bad in every job, so it really doesn't matter what kind of job you work in, but let me know your experiences in the comments below, guys. Anyway, if you've liked this video, please leave me a like, a comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate that very much, and very much. Very much. And again, guys, thank you so much for all my viewers and all my recent subscribers. I really appreciate that very much, guys. That really means a lot to me. So, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, guys. That is so awesome. And yeah, let me know your comments in the below, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. That would be awesome. And yeah, and again, shout out to my recent subscribers, to the other ones that I can't see because your accounts are set on private. So thank you. Good night. Much love and blessings to you guys. And once again, I look forward to doing another YouTube video for you guys. And hopefully it shouldn't be too long, like it's been in the last couple of weeks. Anyway, guys, cheers.